Good morning, parents, grandparents, teachers, and students, to our play entitled 13 Colonies. We have practiced and practiced the past 4 weeks, and we are so glad that we are finally presenting the play to you. This play has many historical representations in it. In fact, we have studied an enormous amount of U.S. history just so we can understand the play. The play is also meant to be fun and lighthearted, so feel free to laugh out loud. And now, without any further ado, we present to you Room 11's play, The 13 Colonies.
Hello, my name is George Washington.
And I'm Martha Washington. George and I are here to tell you the marvelous story of how our country began. It's a story full of excitement and drama.
Dreams of gold in the clash of nations.
And best of all, we get to play the starring roles. Oh, George, I never get tired of this. The bright lights, the photographers. It just makes me want to salute something.
I, Leif Erikson, claim this land for me and all the Vikings.
Excuse me, but we're starting a show here.
I know. I visited America nearly 1,000 years ago. I think I should get credit for being a part of the 13 colonies. I was here first.
No, you weren't.
I wasn't.
Not at all. Native Americans were here hundreds of years. Not at all. Native Americans were here hundreds of years before you arrived. Isn't that right, George?
Oh, sorry. Come on, Vikings, back to Minnesota.
In fact, let's take a visit to the eastern seaboard in the 16th century and see what's going on with the local tribes.
Here comes some Iroquois, and George, they don't look happy.
We've lived on this land for hundreds of years. There is no place we haven't been. But something is new, the neighborhood has changed. The Europeans are moving in. They unload their ships, they back in their vans. They're putting our hearts in a sin. We give them some corn, they give us some mumps. The Europeans are moving in. The Isle of Manhattan we sold to the Dutch, and people say it was a steal. But have you all seen what they've done to the place? We got us a heck of a deal. They're shaking our hands and taking our lands. Our patience is now wearing thin. Never tell, but it doesn't bode well. The Europeans are moving in. The Spanish are searching the south for some gold. We don't think that they're gonna stop. The French in the north want the timber and furs. The New World's a great place to shop. We lived on this land for hundreds of years. There is no place we haven't been, but something is new, the neighborhood has changed. The Europeans are moving in. The Europeans are moving in and in and in and in.
Let's move south of Florida to get a closer look at some of those new European explorers.
I see a summer coming our way. Isn't it exciting?
Programs here, charts of hidden treasures, guides to the Everglades right here, directions to cities built of gold, directions to the houses of stars, programs here. Hey you, wait, I am Ponce de Leon, famous Spanish explorer. Welcome, want to buy a map to a city paved with diamonds and rubies? Are you some... Do you think I'm some dumb tourist? Get real. Though I was wondering, you don't have a map to the Fountain of Youth, do you? Those are very hard to come by. Let me have a look. Ah, you're in luck. I have one left. You do? I'll take it. That'll be £1 of gold. Don't just stand there, pay the man. At last, this has been a very difficult journey.
voyage to America. You know what that means. Jamestown, John Smith, Pocahontas. You know the story, you've seen the movie, you've bought the product tie-ins. Life was tough on the first pioneers as they moved out on the frontiers. Let's get up close and personal with some young pioneer children. Welcome, pioneer children. Tell me, what's your life like?
Out of bed, but I'm still asleep. Cut potatoes to feed the sheep. Got no shoes, but I'm out the door. Bringing wood, and I'm gone once more. Sunrise to sunset. Gotta work all day, hey, hey. Sunrise to sunset. Not much time for play. Lots to do, there's no time for school. Picking berries and spinning wool. Feed the hens and learn how to sew. Weed the garden so our veggies grow. Sunrise to sunset. Gotta work all day, hey, hey. Sunrise to sunset. Not much time for play. Gone all day as I tend the herds. I just talk to the trees and birds. Help my mom to make all the bread. Evening comes and the ground's our bed. Sunrise to sunset. Gotta work all day, hey, hey. Sunrise to sunset. Not much time for play. Sunrise to sunset. Sunrise to sunset. Sunrise to sunset. Gotta work all day, hey, hey. Sunrise to sunset. Not much time for play.
Welcome to Name That Colony, the quiz show that tests your knowledge in colonial trivia. Now time for our theme song from the Name That Colony singers.
The colonies of Hampshire, York, and Jersey are quite new. We're well aware that Delaware is something special too. Maryland's a very land I'd never leave behind. Connecticut is cool and Georgia's always on my mind. Jamestown, Virginia is where it all began. The Carolinas, so warm we got a tan. Rhode Island now is my land, it's so tiny and so cute. Pennsylvania's perfect, Massachusetts is a beaut. These 13 colonies are all we need for pioneers. I doubt we'll need another one for several hundred years.
Tonight's contestant is Betsy Smith. Ready, Betsy? Here we go. The 13th colony was established in 1732. Which one was it?
Idaho.
No, I'm sorry, Idaho was not one of the original colonies. The name of the 13th colony established in 1732 is Georgia.
I really like potatoes.
I'm sure you do, but you only have 2 questions left, so try to concentrate. The first colony to decree religious toleration was
Idaho.
someplace near the East Coast.
Can't go wrong with Idaho potatoes. You can mash them, bake them, sprinkle a little chocolate whipped cream, and...
Thank you, Betsy. The correct answer to our question, the first colony since pre-religious coloration is Maryland.
I really like those potatoes.
Time for our last question. I'd really like to see you get this one. Okay. Okay, here we go. Name the colony founded as a refuge for Quakers led by William Penn in Philadelphia, charted in 1682 between New York and Maryland. And Betsy, it's not Idaho. Got the answer?
I know. Idaho! No! I really like those potatoes.
Forget it.
The colonies of Hampshire, York, and Jersey are quite new. We're well aware that Delaware is something special too. Maryland's a very land I never leave behind. Connecticut is cool and Georgia's always on my mind. Jamestown, Virginia is where it all began. The Carolinas, so warm we got a tan. Rhode Island now is my land, it's so tiny and so cute. Pennsylvania's perfect, Massachusetts is a beaut. These 13 colonies are all we need for pioneers. I doubt we'll need another one for several hundred years.
Things are getting exciting. Thank you. It's great to be back. What a super audience. You know, Martha, I always say that. Long Beach audience are the best in the world.
Oh, absolutely. Your smile looks wonderful, George. It's amazing what they can do with mahogany these days.
I thought I'd introduce you to one of our most famous men of the 18th century. Benjamin Franklin is perhaps...
Hold it right there, Mr. Washington.
Who are you?
We're the history police.
History, please. I don't believe I'm familiar with your organization.
That's right, man. History police. We're here to see that you don't mess around with history. We enforce the facts of history, and we just clock the two of you going way too fast there a minute ago. 150 years of American history in just 5 minutes. Way over the speed limit. You flew right past the development of 13 colonies, 1 minute on the frontier, and then we got all 13 firmly established.
We only have 25 minutes to get
And now you're suddenly introducing Benjamin Franklin. Have you no respect for the flow of history?
I'm sorry, but...
Well, we're gonna let you go with a warning this time. But you better slow down and explain to your audience what's going on. We won't go so easy on you next time.
We were very lucky. You were very lucky, George. I had no idea.
Oh, here he comes now. Ben Franklin, can you stop for a minute?
A penny saved is a penny earned.
Sure, Ben, but I was wondering if...
Lost time is never found again.
Ben, could you stop for a minute to talk?
I've got my work, I've got success. I've got my little printing press. I've got Poor Richard's almanac to publish too. My maxims flow, they're worded right. I've got my string, I've got my kite.
why we, British, are fighting the French in the French-Indian War. It's all religion.
No, I'm simply telling you it's over control of the fur trade.
You're both wrong. We want land, the French want land. Something's got to give.
It's religion.
Trading rights.
It's a fight for power.
Wait, maybe we're all right. But I'll tell you why we're really fighting.
Why?
It's because we're British. And they're so, how do you say it? French.
Yeah, that's right.
They wear hardly anything on our fine beaches. They eat things like goose liver, snails, and fishes. They jump in our kitchens and think they are the bosses. They smear all our meat with all kinds of rich sauces. The French have got to go. Come on, it's westward ho. The French have got to go. Come on, it's westward ho. There's just one thing we can do. We must fight and say adieu. You can bet your chapeau the French have got to go. They don't understand what we're trying to say. We order softwood and they bring us souffle. We tell them it's casual, so they still wear ties. We serve them some chips and they ask for French fries. Oh, the French have got to go. Come on, it's westward ho. The French have got to go. Come on, it's westward ho. There's just one thing we can do. We must fight and fight the who. You can bet your chapeau the French have got to go. The French have got to go.
Things are getting exciting now. We're in Boston in 1773.
Hold it right there.
The history place again.
You're a troublemaker, aren't you, Mr. Washington? Having a little fun with the French and Indian War. Where are we? Well, history is not about fun, Mr. Washington. No, sirree. No, sirree. Where's the facts, the dates, the family tree? You've got to explain things. Tell the audience that after the French were defeated in the war, the colonists and the British were struggling for control over the land. Control over the land, Mr. Washington? We're not gonna warn you again.
Yes, well, here we are again in Boston on a cold night in December in 1773. The colonists are not happy with the British rule. Cokes, get your Cokes right here. Pepsi, Pepsi, ice cold Pepsi right here. Wait a minute, I'll take one. Say, aren't you Samuel Adams?
Why, yes, I am. And this is my cousin John, and that is wife Abigail. She's her little John Quincy Adams.
So you're the Adams family? Yes, we are. So where's Uncle Fester?
Excuse me?
Since when did upper-crust colonists like yourselves start drinking sodas and stop drinking tea?
Since the Parliament back in England put a tax on all imported tea, we're going to show the British that they can't get away with it.
Bang on the drums, blow on the trumpets, get out the cups, bring out some crumpets. Where is the tea? We should be drinking 300 chests, see them all sinking. One lump or two, how do you take your tea? Just one way will do at the bottom of the sea. Dooby-doo, 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 dooby-doo. Tyranny's here with this taxation when we don't have representation. Take up a bell, it's time to ring it. Pick up some tea. It's time to fling it. One lump or two. How do you take your tea? Just one way will do at the bottom of the sea. One lump or two. How do you take your tea? Just one way will do at the bottom of the sea. Doo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Look, George, it's Henry Wadsworth Longfellow and Sybil Ludington. Looks like Longfellow's working on a poem.
This is a special moment, Martha. Longfellow's writing an epic poem about Sybil.
Okay, that's it. Problem.
What do I do now?
What did you do now? You skipped the whole beginning of the Revolutionary War. Here we are in the middle of the common fight for freedom. You can't just start in the middle.
Where's your narrative sense? The beginning, and then the middle, and then the end.
And now, in 1777, we got this little-known Revolutionary War heroine, Sybil Ludington, talking to the great American poet Longfellow. And he wasn't even born until 30 years later. Fuck him, Dano.
But it's dramatic license.
We're revoking that license, mister.
But Longfellow's right there talking to Sybil Ludington. Listen, my children, and you shall learn a ton of the midnight ride of Sybil Ludington. I don't know, Sybil, it doesn't sound good. But I deserve a little recognition, Hank. I did everything Paul Revere did. I know, but your name just doesn't flow. Besides, Paul Revere went on his famous ride first. But that was in Massachusetts. I rode to warn the militia in New York. Think about how much more dangerous that can be. Okay, how about, listen, my children, and you shall know the one of the midnight ride of Sybil Ludington. No, that's even worse. But shouldn't people know about me, too? Of course, but your name just doesn't rhyme with anything. Think of Revere. There's so many possibilities. Year, clear, career, hemisphere. But I was just a girl. That's something, isn't it? Volunteer, wood veneer. Oh, well, I'll never be famous.
one of the thousand colonial heroes in the war. I like to think George Washington, General, First President, Father of the country, had some small part in it all. The colonists were ready to fight for freedom.
Before 1775, each colony and union of soldiers had their own flag when the Revolutionary War began. The colonists decided that a single flag should be formed to show the united action of the colonies.
On July 4, 1776, this flag, the Grand Union flag, came to be the first national flag of the United States. It was widely used, but
never presented to the Continental Congress for adoption.
After the colonies declared independence from Great Britain, the Continental Congress removed the British Union from the Canada flag and the Stars and Stripes came to be used.
It's our Revolutionary War. It's independence we're fighting for. We got tired of Mad King George's reign. We got common sense from Thomas Paine. It's our Revolutionary War. It's Washington, Camden Valley Forge. It's a boat across the Delaware. It's a Nathan Hale of gunfight there. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's why we want to throw out the crown. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Thomas Jefferson wrote it all down. It's our Revolutionary War. When Benedict Arnold falsely swore, we have Betsy Ross and Lafayette, and a French blockade we won't forget. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's why we want to throw out the crown. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Thomas Jefferson wrote it all down. It's our Revolutionary War. It's independence we're fighting for. We got tired of Mad King George's reign. We got common sense from Thomas Paine.
Well, it's all over and the colonists have sent the British packing. I've been elected the country's first president, and my first act was to arrest these two history police for being a public nuisance.
My only regret is that I have but one life to lose for my country.
The president isn't going to execute us.
Is it?
No!
I knew that.
With a solid constitution, this new country will get off to a flying start. Let's end our review of the 13 colonies with a chat with James Madison, the man behind the Constitution.
You know, I thought the Constitution was perfect, but the Bill of Rights had just the right touch. So George, Martha, let's do it.
Do what?
Boogie with the Bill of Rights.
We got freedom of religion. We can choose how we pray. We got freedom of assembly. So assemble away. Got a trial by a jury. Got to do it in a hurry. Come on, Louis. colonies to the 50-50 United States.
50-50 United States from 13 original colonies. 50 nifty stars in the flag that billows so beautifully in the breeze. Each individual state contributes a quality that is great. Each individual state deserves a bow. We salute them now. 50 nifty United States from 13 original colonies. Shout 'em, scout 'em, tell all about 'em, one by one till we're given a day to every state in the USA. Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Vermont, Virginia, Washington, West Virginia, Wisconsin, Wyoming, North, South, East, West, North, California is the best of the 50-50 United States from 13 original colonies. Shout 'em, scout 'em, tell all about 'em, one by one till we're given a day to every state in the good old USA.
Give one more round of applause. They did it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming to our performance of the 13 colonies. Students, look to your teachers, and parents, if you want to take a picture with your child, we've got a few minutes before I need them to change.